Hello friends, I'm Narendra Verma once again before you. As you know very well, in business studies for class 12 CBSE syllabus, we have finished the chapter number 5, that was organizing. Now it's time to start the chapter number 6, that is staffing, right? And in today's session, what we are going to cover: meaning of staffing, definition of staffing, and importance of staffing. And rest of the topics will be covered in the further videos, right? So without wasting much time, let's start. See, for understanding the meaning of staffing, we'll have to understand the concept. Alright, so I would like to give you an example for that. Okay, say for example that you have very luxurious and sophisticated car which is having a lot of features, okay, and it is very much expensive as well. Good looking, amazing car you have. Okay, now just tell me one thing. If you do not give the steering of that car in the hand of an efficient driver, then what's gonna happen? If untrained driver starts driving that car, then there is a very high possibility that he meets an accident. There is very high possibility that he mismanages the functions of the car, right? Okay, he'll not be able to control it and handle it. Okay, and maybe possible that the car turns into ashes. Alright. So the same has to be there with the function of staffing. Okay. However well structure you have created, however better planning you have done, unless you put the right persons there to perform that job that you have thought, then the organizational goals are not going to be achieved. Understood the point? So that is why staffing becomes very much important function of management, right? In the entire process of management, staffing plays very important role. And it's not like that once you recruited the people, the job is over. No, it has to go on and on. We'll have discussion about it, how it has to go on, we'll talk about it. Okay, so we can put one statement here that if you really want the proper utilization of physical and financial resources, then you need to have the competent people for that. Okay, one point. So in that case, we can say staffing is primarily concerned with putting the right person on the right position at the right time. Three things are there. Right person means wrong person should not be recruited. Okay, on the right position, as per the position, the person should be there having the qualities. Okay, and at the right time as well. Because if at the right time the person does not come on that post, then definitely organization is going to miss a lot of chances, opportunities. Understood the point? So after performing the planning function and organizing function, staffing is the primary function of management. Alright? Okay, because whatever you have planned, whatever structure, resources you have created, now it's time to put the right persons on those job positions to perform those actions that you have planned. Alright, so in that way we can say that scope of staffing is not restricted to only filling the job positions. It includes the various processes and activities like manpower planning, okay, and recruitment, selection, training, development, performance appraisal, etc. All these are the processes. It's not like single stroke activity. Understood? So staffing is very detailed function. Okay. And one more statement can be put here is staffing fills the organizational structure. In organizing chapter, we learnt about the structure, whether we create functional structure or divisional structure, but we need to perform staffing function to fill those positions. Understood the point? Okay, now with the help of the information I have just shared with you, we can frame one definition of staffing. I'm just going to write down here, then we'll have discussion about it, right? So, this is what the definition is. Staffing is that part of the process of management. Already we know that staffing is the part of the process of management. 5 functions of management are there: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. So this is what the third function. Understood? Which is concerned with obtaining, utilizing, and maintaining. Okay, we'll talk about these two words later on. Workforce means group of people who are employed to work, right? Okay, so Let's talk about these words: obtaining, utilizing, and maintaining. Means in staffing, very first we need to bring those people from various places to the organization. That is what the obtaining. Okay, staffing includes everything. That is why the definition is very much comprehensive. Okay, staffing is not only the filling position, like I told you, it includes various activities. So this is a very big function, obtaining. Okay, recruitment comes under this category. We'll have detailed discussion about it in further videos. Okay, so obtaining means just to bring the competent people from various places to the organization. Understood? So obtaining. Another word says that utilizing. Now you have obtained. Now it depends on the management that to whom what duties, responsibilities and authority is to be given. Okay, for that proper observation of those people needs to be done, so that a person gets work according to his capabilities and skills, right? So if a person is very much capable to use computer and we put him only to manage the people, okay, and to manage the machinery, then it is no use of his skills. Understood the point what I'm trying to say? Okay, so whatever skills, capabilities, qualifications the person possesses, according to that, matching with that, he should be put on the particular position, and the duties and responsibility and authority should be handed over to him, so that there can be the proper utilization of that person and his skills. Got it? So that is what obtaining, one point. Another, utilizing. Okay, and the third one, maintaining. That is also must. Okay, because sometimes what happens, you hire a person, you train him, he becomes expert, specialized. Now he leaves the organization and joins the another organization for some more benefits, like he may be getting salary hikes there. So why you can't provide him the salary hikes? So that comes under maintenance. Okay, maybe possible he is dissatisfied here, not only from the monetary part. Okay, some other cases can be there. Maybe possible the behavior of the management, maybe possible the policy of the organization, maybe possible the workload of the organization, whatever the reasons are. Okay, so under the staffing, that is also ensured that the workforce which has been obtained and being utilized has to be maintained in the organization for the long run. Alright, so everything comes under staffing. Obtaining, utilizing and maintaining a satisfactory and satisfied workforce. There are two terms here. One is satisfactory, another is satisfied. Let's understand the meaning. This is there for the organization, right? Okay, means whenever a person is performing in the organization, then he is supposed to give a satisfactory performance towards the organization. Okay, that is understood. Okay, now satisfied a person remains for himself. Okay, when he feels happy, when he gets job satisfaction, okay, when he is happy with his work, then he gets satisfaction, he becomes satisfied. Okay, so both parts should be there. Organization should be satisfied as well as the employee should be satisfied. That is what the responsibility of the managers while performing the staffing function. Understood? So the entire definition says that staffing is that part of the process of management which is concerned with obtaining, utilizing and maintaining a satisfactory and satisfied workforce. Understood? Now we need to have discussion about its importance. Alright? So without wasting much time, let's jump to that. So, importance of staffing. There are 5 points of importance of staffing. Better performance, improves job satisfaction and morale, filling jobs with competent personnel, optimum utilization of human resources, survival and growth. Okay, see, already I have discussed one example in the beginning related to the importance of staffing. How important the staffing function is in the organization, that you must have understood. Okay, now let's move on, because on general there are some points by which the importance of staffing can be reflected. These are the points, and just to remember those points, you know very well what is going to come from my side, a unique code. This time the code is very much unique. You will have to imagine a kind of unusual situation. Okay, that happens. Already I have told you why I prepare such kind of code, so that these leave impression in your mind for a longer period. We remember the unusual things more than the usual things. Understood the point? So today's code is, so ball is flying over stool. You will have to imagine a kind of situation. Stool, you know, a small kind of table. Okay, so stool is capped and ball is flying. We know very well the ball does not fly, but you'll have to imagine like Harry Potter. Okay, the ball is flying over stool. Okay, imagine that situation, then you'll remember that. Fine. Now how this code is going to work here? See, this V stands for better performance, I stand for improved job satisfaction and morale, F stands for filling jobs with competent personnel, O stands for optimum utilization of human resources, and S stands for survival and growth. So ball is flying over a stool. You can remember all the points of importance of staffing by this single code. Alright. So now let's understand all these points one by one. Let's start with this very first, better performance. See, better performance. Okay, what happens if we perform the function of staffing in a proper manner? Then what happens? We get the efficient people. Okay, and one more thing, we get the deserving employees. Okay, and if we train them and develop them in a proper way, then what happens? They become efficient. Okay, and by that the organization's productivity and efficiency also gets improved. Okay, so everybody is going to get better performance, the employee as well as the organization. Okay, and what happens? The trained employee, the efficient employee, the deserving employee, okay, does the better utilization of physical and financial resources, okay, in comparison to the untrained and undeserving and inefficient employee. Getting my point? Okay, so with the help of staffing function, what happens? The better performance can be ensured. Okay, the organization can have better performance in terms of productivity, efficiency and effectiveness, and the better performance of the employee can also be ensured just with the function of staffing. So that is why the staffing is important. Okay, I just give you one example so that you better understand. Say for example, in one organization, a person is hired. Okay, it has not been seen that what qualification he has. Do his qualification match with the job profile or not? Okay, and he is not even given the training. Now he's put to perform his job. Now what will happen? He will behave like quarreling with tools. Okay, so that is what? Because he does not know how to operate the tools and machinery. He is not trained. Okay, and just because of that, what is going to happen? Time of the organization is being wasted. Human resource, he himself, that is not being utilized, that is being wasted. Cost is being incurred. Okay, wastage of the material activities happening. Okay, so many things. And all these things will lead to unproductivity, inefficiency, ineffectiveness, and ultimately what will happen? The organization goal will not be achieved, right? So if we compare it with the proper functioning of staffing, then what will happen? We'll get the deserving person, efficient person, like I already explained to you, and the organization is going to achieve success. Understood the point? Now let's move on to another point of importance. That is what? Improves job satisfaction and morale. See, that is very much important point. Okay, you can put on your part as well. Okay, sometimes what happens? A person gets job. Now I'm talking about employee's point of view very first. A person gets job because he is in the need of money. But when he starts earning money, then his another needs start rising. That is what? He has to get satisfaction with his job. if his heart does not allow him to do the job that he is doing, he is not happy with his acts, okay, his performance, then what's going to happen? The person is going to leave the job. Okay, so who is responsible for that? In actual, that person? No. Somewhere the organization is responsible. They did not perform the staffing function pretty well, right? A staffing function, if performed pretty well, like I told you, it does not mean only filling the job position. It includes a lot of things. Okay, so they have to maintain the good environment in the organization. The manager is supposed to create the supportive environment so that a person feels satisfied. He must be happy with his job, right? His work should be appreciated. He should be getting the recognition. Okay, such kind of things can be planned. He should be getting the proper incentives, okay, and rewards. Okay, so in that way, what's going to happen? The person is going to work and remain in the organization for a longer period. Okay, so why all these points are there? These points are there considering this, that you apply staffing function properly. Okay, so that will improve job satisfaction among the employees, as well as it will build their morale. Morale means just to be highly motivated to do anything. Okay, they will not feel disheartened, they will not feel depressed, they will not feel overloaded. Okay, but this everything is depending on the proper application of staffing function. It depends on the manager. If the manager of the organization has made such kind of conducive environment for the employee, then definitely employee is going to feel satisfaction with his job. Okay, so proper application of the staffing function improves job satisfaction and morale also among the employees. Understood the point? For the same, I would like to give you an example. Say for example, a person has been put on a job, he is getting very much high salary, but his boss every day abuses him. He behaves in very wrong manner to him. Okay, like beggars are behaved. Okay, like slaves are behaved. Then what will happen? The person is feeling satisfaction. However, he is getting a lot of money, but he does not feel satisfied. He does not feel motivated to work more and more. Okay, and how it is happening? Who is responsible for that? That person, employee is not responsible. The manager is responsible. He is violating the laws of the staffing. Under staffing, it is also must that you have to maintain the proper environment. You will have to maintain your workforce. Okay, for maintenance, so many things have to be done, and proper behavior with those people is also a part of that. Understood? Okay, and other parts are also there, salary hike and recognition, reward giving, so many things are there. Okay. So now let's move on to another point of importance. So another point is what? Filling jobs with competent personnel. Yes, staffing ensures that as well. Okay, very first, under staffing, what is done? It is inquired, it is ensured that where the job positions are empty. Okay, how many positions are vacant? First of all, estimation is done on that. Okay, and later on, the competent personnel are recruited on those posts. Okay, so how the organization will come to know that a person is competent or not? Just by applying the staffing function properly. It includes the process of recruitment. When we have discussion on recruitment in detail, then I'll explain you, okay, how a competent personnel will come out. You can take the example of any job vacancy. When you apply, then thousands or lakhs of people also apply for the similar post, but only few are selected. Why those few are selected? Because those are more competent than the other ones. Understood? So the organization has to run the process of recruitment, selection. There are various stages in that selection. So many persons are rejected. For example, very first what happens? You apply a form. Okay, say for example, there are 5 positions of sales executive in one organization. Alright, and for the same, how many applications are there? 500 applications came, right? But only 5 positions are vacant. Now what will be done? Now there is some education qualification required, so the recruiters, what they will do, they will very first do the scrutinization of the forms. Okay, so they will select. Now after doing this, they came to know that around 200 forms were not matching the qualification, whatever qualification is demanded, these are not matching. So how many are left now? 200 are out, only 300 are there, right? Now written test will be conducted, and after that test what will happen? Only 150 passed. Okay, now 150 are there. Now interview will be conducted. Okay, and out of that interview, how many were selected? Say for example, only 15 are selected. Okay, now after that also medical examination, background check, and so many things take place. We'll have discussion about it while I discuss the selection process. Okay, so at last 5 were shortlisted and they were joined. Okay, and 5 were rejected at this point and 5 were kept in waiting, you can say. Okay, so this is the process. I just gave you the example to prove that how the competent personnel is selected. Okay, so that has happened just because of the function of staffing. This is the staffing. I have explained you a part of few processes, recruitment, selection. Okay, so that is the entire process of staffing. So staffing, what staffing does, it fills the job position with competent personnel. Understood the point? Okay, if we do not perform all these activities, then we will not be able to identify that who is the most competent, who are more competent than the others. We got the application 500. Okay, only 5 were the most competent, eligible for the post, and 495 were not. So staffing process has to be performed for that. Understood? Now let's move on to another point of importance, that is what? Optimum utilization of human resources, not resources, human resources. Okay, now what happens under staffing process? Like I told you, the estimation of the vacant post is done. Very first, it has to be ensured that how many posts are vacant. Say for example, we just came to know here the 5 posts are vacant. Okay, just to avoid the overstaffing. Say for example, only 5 persons are needed and right now we have 7 persons available. Then 2 persons will be shifted to another units. Okay, so that is also the function of the staffing. Okay, staffing somewhere avoids overstaffing. Means the adequate number of people should be there at one place. So that is also the function of staffing. Okay, the adequate number of employees are also identified, that how many persons are required to perform that task and activity. If the people are more than that, then the people are shifted to other units where the vacancies are there. That is why the transfers take place in the organizations, whether it is the government one or the private one. Understood the point? Okay, so one point, it takes care of the overstaffing, it avoids that. Another, it takes care of the understaffing as well. At any point, the employee should not be less than required. Okay, if it is there, then within a proper time, they'll have to do the recruitment process complete so that vacant positions may be filled with the adequate numbers. Okay, so a staffing function takes care of both the things, overstaffing and understaffing. Both the things are avoided. Okay, and for the same, the manager who is involved in the staffing process has to take care. He has to perform all the activities and processes under staffing. Got the point? Okay, so here the optimum utilization of human resources happens because our human resource is not sitting idle. We have put them on the another unit. Okay, and if it is underutilization, then what will happen? The organization is going to suffer. So that is why all the people should be there on the right post so that the proper optimum utilization of the resources can happen. Understood the point? Okay. And one more point can be included here, that under staffing, the competent personnel the competent person is put on the required post, so that his skills and knowledge and qualification can be utilized. So that is also the optimum utilization of human resources. Understood the point? So staffing ensures optimum utilization of human resources. Okay, if we do not perform the staffing function, then may be possible that we are having the employees more than required, or the opposite situation, we are having the employees less than required. Then both the case the organization is going to suffer and the proper utilization of the resources is not happening. Okay, so staffing ensures that. Fine. Now let's move on to the last point of importance, that is what? Survival and growth. See, under staffing, as I explained to you, not only filling the job position act is included, it also includes training and development. So that is also an important aspect of this. Okay, the employees keep on getting the training. It's not like that once when they join, only then they get the training and thereafter there is no training. Not at all. As per the requirement, the enterprise keeps on giving them training and prepares the plan for their development. Okay, because we know very well in business environment chapter we have learned that it is dynamic, it keeps on changing, daily technology is being developed, so many things are changing. So in this changing environment, the employee has to cope with it. So for the same, what is required? They need to be trained. So proper training has to be ensured, and that is done under staffing function. Okay, so training programs and other development programs, okay, give lot of opportunities to the employees. They can get the internal promotions in the organization. Okay, that is very good for their development and growth. Okay, and they also get admiration, rewards. Okay, and their performance is evaluated for their amazing contribution. Right, so that has to be done. With this, what happens? It works in two ways. Okay, one point, the employee gets growth in his career, he gets development. Okay, and another, organization also gets growth. With the growth of the employee, the organization is also growing. One more thing is also there, when the organization keeps on training the people. Okay, so then what happens? One concept is called in the organization, that is succession planning. Succession planning is what? Say for example that A is there at the top level management and B is there at the immediate subordinate of his. Then what will happen? By and by he will also get training. Okay, he will be trained so that in future he can take up the position of A. This concept is known as succession plan. So succession planning somewhere helps an organization to expand and grow. Okay, so whenever they open the another unit, then this person, Mr. B, can be directly put there on the higher post. Okay, so that happened just because of the staffing, because training comes under staffing. Okay, so through continuous training and development, the organization ensures that it can survive in the future, it can grow in the future, as well as it is beneficial for the employees' growth. Understood the point? So friends, this was all about the staffing's meaning, definition and importance. Okay, very soon I am going to meet you in the another video with the further concept of staffing. Till then, thank you, bye bye.